It's Monday, July 15th, 2024. Can something be shocking and unsurprising? Yes, and it happened over the weekend in Pennsylvania. Next on the AM Update.
Take a look at what happened.
I have a few things to say about the only story of import from over the weekend, and that was the nearly successful assassination of Donald Trump. Here's what we know. On Saturday, Donald Trump held a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. It's in the western portion of that state, not too far north of Pittsburgh, a very rural setting. About 10 minutes after the rally started, 6:12 Eastern Time, the first shot is fired. Trump is gripping the lectern and looking to his right. He stops speaking mid-sentence and grabs his right ear. A second shot sounds, then a third. Trump ducks behind the lectern. "Get down, get down, get down, get down," a male Secret Service agent yells. Another volley of shots comes. Crowd members scream and crouch. 3 agents dive on top of Donald Trump. 1 attendee is killed and 2 others are critically injured in the gunfire. The shooter is killed. The Butler County District Attorney told media the shooter fired from the roof of an office building just next to the grounds. Secret Service agents hoist Trump up and form a tight circle around him. Trump's hair is ruffled and he's lost his hat and shoes. Trump then picks himself up, blood streaming from his ear around his face, lifts his fist in the air and beckoned, yelling at whoever could hear in the crowd to fight. Agents escorted Trump down the stairs from the stage. He continues fist pumping as the agents shuffle him into a black SUV, which then drives away from the fairgrounds where this all went down. The man who was killed at Trump's Pennsylvania rally has been identified as former fire chief from Buffalo Township, Corey Comparator. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro spoke about the murder of this husband and father.
We lost a fellow Pennsylvanian last night, Corey Comparator. I just spoke to Corey's wife and Corey's 2 daughters. Corey was a girl dad. Corey was a firefighter. Corey went to church every Sunday. Corey loved his community. And most especially, Corey loved his family. Corey was an avid supporter of the former president and was so excited to be there last night with him in the community. I asked Corey's wife if it would be okay for me to share that we spoke. She said yes. She also asked that I share with all of you that Corey died a hero, that Corey dove on his family to protect them last night at this rally. Corey was the very best of us. May his memory be a blessing.
Law enforcement authorities have identified the man who attempted to assassinate Donald Trump as 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. Crooks is believed to have fired 8 shots before he was taken down by snipers. Pennsylvania voter records listed a Thomas Matthew Crooks with the same address and birth date as a registered Republican. But Crooks appeared to have made a $15 donation to a liberal political action committee on Inauguration Day in 2021, according to Federal Election Commission records. President Joe Biden made multiple public appearances over the weekend to address the attempted assassination. On Sunday, he said this.
"We don't yet have any information about the motive of the shooter. We know who he is. I urge everyone, please, don't make assumptions about his motives or his affiliations. Let the FBI do their job and their partner agencies do their job."
And now it's time to talk about where we are and what this means. Can something be simultaneously shocking yet unsurprising? Yes.
Of course, it's Trump is a Nazi time again.
Let's deal with Hitler, okay?
I don't think it's hyperbolic to say that. I mean, that is Mussolini, Hitler-like language.
Trump's affinity for Hitler was always covered under an umbrella of his stupidity.
Echoing Hitler's words.
Listen to this. Well, Hitler was duly elected.
That's right. Echoing the hateful rhetoric of Adolf Hitler.
It echoes Hitler.
That's the kind of language Hitler used in Mein Kampf.
About vermin and Hitler and Mussolini.
That's a horrifying clip. That's a fascist clip.
Just going full on Hitler.
From Hitler's Germany.
We just need to say, for the record, that the term vermin
was really effectively used by Adolf Hitler.
Echo dictators like Hitler.
With language evoking authoritarian figures like Adolf Hitler and
Adolf Hitler.
Donald Trump parroted the autocratic language of Adolf Hitler.
Talk about the brilliance of Hitler's generals.
Correct.
General Kelly, yes.
Unsurprising. Shocking nonetheless. When my wife carried our 2 children to term, was it surprising when we got to the labor part of pregnancy? No, it wasn't. Was labor in and of itself a shocking experience both times? Yes, it was. We weren't surprised that the end result of pregnancy would result in labor and giving birth. In our cases, it gave birth to life, new life. But we weren't surprised along the way. But the sights and sounds you see during labor, during birth, is shocking nonetheless, no matter how many times you've seen them. For years now, our media, and with the help of really no distinction, the Democrat Party at all levels, have been pregnant with justification of assassination of Donald Trump. It's been in their media for years, really ever since Donald Trump hit the scene. It's not surprising that we are at this point. You just heard a montage there of just in recent years comparisons to Adolf Hitler and others. So it's not a surprise that we are here. But seeing this get made yesterday, seeing the birth of that pregnancy yesterday, is shocking nonetheless. Second thing I want to talk about this morning as well. I don't believe enough people, at least looking at the immediate reaction, understand just how close we were to waking up in a completely different reality on Sunday morning. There were memes galore from right-wing media in the immediate aftermath. Yes, some of them were funny. Some of them were good. But memeing, you can't meme your way out of a civil war. Whatever the odds you thought of a hot civil war breaking out in this country, doubled. If that shot is just 1 inch to the right. If you thought it was 2%, it was 4. If you thought it was 20%, it was 40. If you thought it was 50%, we could have been in a hot war on Sunday morning with each other. People don't understand the gravity of what just happened. And I think that's borne out in the number of memes you saw from prominent right-wing influencers coming out on Saturday. What just happened, I believe, this is my opinion, you're free to disagree. What just happened is we were an inch away from an age of violence, an age of violence being unleashed upon you and your kin. 1 inch away. That's what really happened here. And no amount of memes, no matter how good and funny they are going to change my mind on that. You can say all you want about the complacency of the American populace, and I have said much the same myself. But if Donald Trump gets shot 1 inch to the right instead of just grazing his ear, we're having a very difficult and very different conversation right now. And I think that's lost on a lot of people. I don't know what that looks like, but there would have been violence, a lot of it, had that shot been 1 inch to the right. 1 inch. 1 inch. Thirdly, and I want to end on this. I have talked a lot about the character, or lack thereof, of Donald Trump. And pretty much all of it, in my opinion, is deserved. Not a great guy. Not a great human being on a lot of levels. But folks, none of us, I would wager, have survived nearly getting shot in the head. When you are in the position that Donald Trump is in, pulling yourself up, pumping your fist, and screaming at anybody within earshot to keep fighting. Trump is a man of low character. But in that moment, he showed me something. Something that a lot of men in these days do not have. And that's bravery. I want to vote for somebody who I want my son to look up to. I want to vote for that. I don't have that option when it comes to character. But on Saturday, that guy, the man Donald Trump, showed me something else. Bravery is a part of character. And so with that, I am voting for him. I understand his leftward bent on policies, notwithstanding. And it's not really an affirmation of Donald Trump, so much as it is, we're running out of time to peacefully resolve our differences. No, South Africa is not nice this time of the year or any time of the year, because shit like this happens all the time in places like that. Mexico is not nice this time of the year, nor is it nice any time of the year. Well, they just have 500 candidates for political offices assassinated in the last election cycle down there. We can't let this become normal. We can't. I personally cannot just be nonplussed by an age of violence coming within an inch of happening. We're running out of time to resolve the very serious differences we have with the American left through peaceable means. I'm not the one telling you that. They are. So I feel like I don't have a choice. You may not agree with me. You may agree with me, but that's where I'm standing. We'll be back at it again tomorrow. I'm Aaron McIntyre, and this is the AM Update.